The miles have not been there. I know everyone talks about the freight shortage, but the miles haven't been there either. The pay sucks. So it's like, why am I out here risking my CDL for nothing, basically? So my final straw, it was a check I received last paycheck. Last paycheck was kind of my final straw. It's so low, it's embarrassing to even show. But as a grown person, a grown man with a family, doing this type of career, I shouldn't be getting a $200 paycheck.
What's going on, man? It's your boy Living here, back with another episode of Smooth Trucking. Hey, listen, I know it's been a minute since I made some content for the channel, but I felt like right now it's very important for me to update some things when it comes to the trucking world. And I'm really talking about, should you get into trucking or what trucking can do for you. I made that video back early in my trucking career. I made a video talking about how trucking changed my life and, definitely improved the quality of my life. But in the trucking industry right now, it's going through so many changes, and I felt a need to make an update to that video. And the reason why I felt the real need to make an update to this video is because I got a call from a real close friend of mine a few days ago, maybe like a week or so ago. And I trained him when I was at Warner, and I was a leader and I was training. So I trained him. And so he's currently still at Warner. And he was just calling me, telling me how, things are changed, how things are just basically going down. And, I've been hearing a lot of that in the trucking world, for some time now. And so I just wanted to make this video to help people to understand who's thinking about getting into trucking, what trucking is currently in 2024. So to start off the video, I want to play another person video that I seen on YouTube, and I'm gonna let you guys hear what she has to say about it, and then I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts on what's going on in the trucking world. Is she true? Is it false? So stay tuned. Smooth Trucking up next.
So this video is going to be about good old Swifty Swift and their embarrassingly low driver pay. But in reality, all starter trucking companies lowball their drivers. However, in this day and age where we're seeing all-time highs in inflation, houses are unaffordable, groceries cost an arm and a leg, it is unacceptable to pay drivers less than minimum wage to operate an 80,000-pound death machine.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop there. So she just said that all starter companies basically pay their drivers nothing, right? Less than minimum wage. They try to nickel and dime you. Now, when I first started into trucking a couple years ago, I came in the industry making like 70. I think she pointed out that the average trucker now makes like 40-some thousand. I don't know how true that is. But that's horrible, and as she said, with groceries, with inflation, things costing so high, but, these companies are cutting back. And that's what my friend even called and told me. He was like, basically, they're cutting salaries. They're not increasing them. They're cutting them, and that's horrible, in this time period where we live in now, where things cost so much and inflation is steady rising. Why do you see the need to cut salaries? And then, you have to think about how important truck drivers are to our society. Things don't move unless we get it to them. You know, so for people to have to deal with things like this when it comes to, you know, not even making minimum wage, it's ridiculous. So before I continue on, I'm gonna let you guys finish hearing what she had to say in this video, because it's some very important information. She's gonna let another driver speak from his video, and listen to what he said. It's just ridiculous.
So, Swift Transportation is a mega giant. They merged with Knight Transportation, and recently they bought US Express. They have several thousand trucks in their fleet. And with all this money that these mega giants have, you'd think that they pay their drivers a livable wage at least. But that's not even the case at all. And this video is actually a response to a now former Swift driver who goes by Junior's Big World. He exposes his pay and his treatment as a driver while he was at Swift.
The miles have not been there. I know everyone talks about the freight shortage, but the miles haven't been there either. The pay sucks. So it's like, why am I out here risking my CDL for nothing, basically? So my final straw, it was a check I received last paycheck. Last paycheck was kind of my final straw. It's so low, it's embarrassing to even show. But as a grown person, a grown man with a family, doing this type of career, I shouldn't be getting a $200 paycheck.
So
right now, it's ridiculous in the trucking world, basically, because when I first started at Werner, right, I started off as a new driver, as a brand new driver, making 65 cents per mile. Coming out of school, brand new driver. Nowadays in the trucking world, these companies are paying you anywhere between 50 cents a mile to 55 cents per mile. And it's ridiculous. And that's even with your hazmats and everything else like that. Even the young lady you see on the street now, she's doing hazmat loads. She's only making 52 cents per mile, which is crazy. Okay, it's beyond trifling. Is ridiculous. The last guy you just seen right there, he said his last straw, his check was what, $300 and something dollars. I had a friend, another friend at Werner. He told me that his checks that he was getting was like $600, $500 to $600. I didn't believe it. But to constantly hear things like this, people are not making this stuff up. This is what they're really going through out here in the trucking world now, especially as beginning drivers. And also, when I first came in, these companies will tell you like let's say if you would go to a company and they start you off with 55, 56 cents per mile. After a year, you can move up to that 60, 65 cents per mile. Nowadays, it's completely different. It is not the same. Okay. Nowadays, these companies, they want you to have at least 2 years before they are paying you like 60 cents. That's insane. That's ridiculous. Especially when you think about how much our society needs truck drivers. Think about it. Everything that's in our stores is delivered by truck drivers. The economy won't move unless we deliver that product. It can't move. How could it? Even planes deliver the stuff here from overseas, some products, and even ships. But how does it get to the stores? Truck drivers does it. It doesn't get to the stores unless we do it. And to bring this point home, think about this. Who would you say is more important? Here's a question for you. Is a doctor more important or a truck driver? Just think about that for a second. Now, if you say a doctor, I will say that you're wrong. And here's why. Because even though what that doctor do is incredible, right? How does he get the product and the tools that he needs to conduct that surgery? It's delivered by a truck, right? If that truck driver does not deliver that product, does not deliver that load, that doctor doesn't not have what he needs in order to continue with that procedure. But yet, look how our society constantly lowballs us as truck drivers, like we're not important. It's wrong. You know, these trucking schools, they cost an arm and a leg. All right, to go to these trucking schools to get these CDL license, just to get out and not even get minimum wage. What are we doing here? You know, what are we doing? And the trucking industry really needs a change. So, and that's why I feel the need to make this video, simply because, you know, my old videos, if anybody's watching them, especially new truck drivers, you know, that was then. This is the reality of trucking now. It's horrible. It's horrible. 100%. So you really need to think about your decisions when it comes to getting into trucking. Now, I'm not telling you not to do it, because everybody's trucking situation and experience is different. But what I'm definitely doing is I'm making this video is to help you to consider this option. Because when you become a truck driver, and this is what I really want you guys to understand. When I was doing it, or when I first came into trucking, I was making the money, which made the sacrifices that I was making, it made them seem little, because I actually was making the money. When you're a truck driver, the sacrifices are huge. It's huge. Because guess what? You're not at home. You're on that road 24/7, 365 days. You're not at home. You're not with your friends. You're not with your family. You're not doing meaning. You're sleeping and you're living in a truck. Okay? You're missing out on life. If you have kids, if you have a wife, if you have a family, a girlfriend, you're missing out on all that, because you're in a truck majority of your time. You know, and if you go OTR, you're on the road from OTR 2 to 3 weeks at a time. You get 3 days home after that, and then you go back on the road. Now, if you're not making money less than minimum wage, that's not worth it. Listen, there's no way I'm gonna go to work for a company and my checks is $500-$600 and I'm making those sacrifices. I can make more money than that at home. I'm not gonna do it. You know, and it's just ridiculous how the trucking industry is treating these truck drivers. Is disrespectful. Now me, currently, I am an owner operator. Okay. But even that has its challenges. I'll probably make another video talking about that. But that is not all cracked up, or it's not as what it seemed. You know, again, you have to work hard. Even with that, you have to know how to manage a business very well, and to succeed in that. But like I said, I might make another video talking about that later. But now, you know, if you're thinking about getting into trucking, please listen to this video before you make that move. Because, you know, I was a person saying how beneficial it was to get into trucking, how it changed my life, and it did. It really did at that time. But now the industry is changing. It's different. And what I believe that all truck drivers need to do, whether you are a company worker, owner operator, you know, whatever, I think us as all truckers, I think we need to take a stand. I think we just need to stop. I think we need to stop driving and let the economy know how important it is, or truck drivers are, to society. Because the economy can't move without us. And as long as as long as we keep driving under these circumstances, nothing is going to get better for us. You know, you look at, for example, UPS, I think last year sometime, they increased the salary of their workers because their workers was about to go on strike, because those UPS drivers were saying that they wasn't getting the pay that they deserved, so they was going to strike. And so what happened was UPS increased their pay. If we're truck drivers right now, we need to take a stand for what the trucking industry is doing to us, because we don't have a union. We don't have protection from anybody in the trucking world. That's why the trucking world is what it is. You know, they're basically clowning truck drivers, you know. And then you have, you know, if you're watching old videos trying to get into the trucking industry, okay, you may be, you know, you may get the wrong impression, like trucking is the way to go. Right now, I'm telling you, from what I'm hearing from a lot of these truck drivers, is not it. It's not like it was. And I don't know if it's going to get better anytime soon, but I just wanted you guys to be aware of what's going on in the trucking industry right now. So I'm going to definitely keep trying to make more videos for you guys about, you know, the trucking industry, even what I'm doing now. But, you know, just be aware of what's going on in the industry when it comes to trucking nowadays. But once again, man, it's your boy Living. And thank y'all for tuning in to the channel. And I'll see y'all next time on Smooth Trucking.